Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney, this is the Brittney Reacts Show, and on this show we talk all things entertainment news. I've been updating you guys about the strikes. We have a lot to talk about with the strikes today because there was a whole lot of mess, basically, that happened over the weekend, so I gotta update you guys on that. Also, The Rock is wrestling again, so it seems like he's still trying to rehabilitate his image after Black Adam flopped, so we'll talk about that. I did ask you guys a member question about it. Also, we're going to talk about the box office as well, because Barbie and Oppenheimer continue to be super impressive. So we have a lot to discuss. And right off the top, Shelley Lee, wow, you are just the best, so kind, so generous. Thank you so much. You just gifted 5 members, 5 new memberships. That's incredible. We have Elizabeth Izaguirre. Oh, thank you so much is now a member. Kat Kofer is now a member. Kasaki is now a member. Jordan Davis is now a member. Erica Felton is now a member. Wow, we have a lot of new members today. Welcome. We do have a member question we'll get to later. Again, it's about The Rock. Again, thank you so much, Shelley Lee. You're always so kind. Oh, Natanya already has a hot take. The Rock is overrated. Well, we'll get to The Rock. I'm sure we're going to have a fun discussion about that one. I hope you had a good weekend too, Evil Connor. Alright, so let's just get straight into it. So the first thing, let's talk about the box office. Because Barbie. Y'all, Barbie. Oh no. Sorry you can't see the chat, I'm not sure why. But you'll be able to see the chat on the replay. But it looks like Barbie has officially dethroned the Avengers as the 11th highest grossing movie of all time in the US. So this is domestically, this isn't all like worldwide, but domestically, Barbie has made more money than the Avengers. The Avengers, isn't that incredible? And I have the chart pulled up here. This is for all-time domestic. And look, Barbie here at number 11. It's sandwiched between Jurassic World, the first one, and, of course, the first Avengers movie. Barbie has made more money than Star Wars Episode 8, Incredibles 2, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, The Lion King, the live-action one, The Dark Knight, Star Wars movies, like, look, Episode 9, Beauty and the Beast, Frozen 2. I mean, this is pretty incredible. These are some huge movies that Barbie has beaten, so, I mean, the accolades for this film just keep getting more and more impressive. João Pedro says, wow, not expected at all, I know. Hi, Jojo Rod. I'm glad that everyone's very excited about Barbie. Now, Oppenheimer's also doing really well. Oppenheimer just passed $900 million worldwide, and it will become the highest grossing biopic of all time this weekend. In fact, Oppenheimer is now the highest grossing biopic, making more money than Bohemian Rhapsody. And I actually liked Bohemian Rhapsody. I know it gets a bad rep online, but I guess because I'm a huge Queen fan, I still really like that movie. Both have Rami Malek in it, so this is a good day for Rami Malek, but the fact that Oppenheimer made more money than Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't think people saw coming. Did anyone see this coming? Is this surprising to anyone? Yeah, the modern design of Titanic is still on top, I know. You're talking about the domestic list? Yeah. Titanic is still number 9 for all-time domestic. And that came out in 1997. So if you adjust for inflation, that would be way higher. But yeah, isn't that impressive? Did anyone see this coming? I like Queen music too, Natanya. Okay. Star Film Studio says, oh, I didn't know that Barbie's going to be this popular. Yeah. Oh, the modern designer didn't know Bohemian Rhapsody was successful. Yeah, and it won a bunch of Oscars. It won like 4, I believe, including one for Rami Malek. West Coast Avenger says, it's incredible. 11 years of inflating, of course, but still an amazing feat. Yeah, talking about Titanic. Yeah, it's an amazing feat. Wanda Dawn Miller says, well, Captain America got married to a younger woman and everyone is mad. So the news should make them happy. What? What are you talking about? What? I have no idea what you're referring to, Wanda. What do you mean? But I'm glad I'm not the only one that's surprised by Oppenheimer. In fact, if you include, the whole Barbenheimer effect together with Barbie and Oppenheimer, The two movies together now have grossed more than Avatar: The Way of Water, which I want to say that we gotta give accolades to James Cameron here. It took two very successful movies just to match his one, but I think that also just shows you that the Barbenheimer effect was very real, and it made both of these movies so popular that to combine, they're now making more money than the Avatar film. So, even though they're two separate films, I know some people are upset that people keep combining them, but I mean, we kind of have to combine them. This is history. This has never happened before, at least not to my knowledge, where we had two films that were so, like, attached to each other in the eyes of the public. Like, I kind of feel like we can at least say they're almost a group project at this point. What do you guys think? Oh, I did know that Chris Evans just married someone new. Yeah, and he's like his new wife is like, yeah, really, really young, about my age. So that's a little awkward. Little Joe's animation, Chris Evans is 42 and he married a 26-year-old. She's a grown adult. I don't think it's creepy. Some people just think it's lame. Shelly Lee says, I would lose my ish if Barbie and Oppenheimer marketed their Blu-rays together. You know what? It would have been really funny if the Barbie and Oppenheimer both released their DVDs at the same day, too. I feel like they should have done that just for marketing's sake, but they didn't. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I still feel like, I don't know, I feel like Christopher Nolan is, he has a chip on his shoulder about the whole Barbie situation. I feel like he feels, Barbie is, like, kind of overshadowed his movie, even though Oppenheimer still did really well, so we'll see. Oh, hi, I Heart Tidia. Yeah, Barbie did carry Oppenheimer. Definitely. Alright. And I wanted to just give you guys an update on what the worldwide, like, total box office is right now. Look at, you got Barbie at number 1 at 1.4 billion. That's incredible. 1.4 billion, that's insane. And then you have the Super Mario Bros. Movie at number 2. It made 1.3 billion. Oppenheimer, almost a billion, over 900. Then Guardians, then Fast X, which still managed to make over $700 million somehow. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I'm really happy to see that's still in the top 10. The Little Mermaid is in the top 10 at 569. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is at number 8, which is so interesting, and I think this, now that I'm going through this list, I'm realizing that this list actually doesn't read really well for Hollywood, because a number of these movies completely flop. Like, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is in the top 10, but it completely flopped. Elemental, even though it had a comeback, it still wasn't, like, a strong performance for Pixar. Even the Mission Impossible movie flopped. The Little Mermaid movie underperformed. Fast X even underperformed. Yet, they're all still in the top 10. I think that says that, yeah, you can still have really big hits in Hollywood, but it's seeming like it's only going to be, like, a select few that the people really care about. Because the rest, all this is actually not looking that great. What do you guys think about this? Jessica H. says, now who the hell saw Fast X? I saw Fast X, I did. Kitty Cat says, I did not care for Oppenheimer. I didn't either. You're not alone. There's those of us who are bold enough to admit we did not care for Oppenheimer. Sorry about that. Joshua Munn says, Dwayne also confirmed him versus Roman is main eventing WrestleMania 40. He might go over and have one last run with the title than put over someone else. I prefer that to Roman winning. We're gonna talk about The Rock in a minute, but yeah, he's definitely, I guess he's thinking, while the strike's happening, I got nothing better to do, might as well go back to wrestling. So yeah, I think there's multiple reasoning going into that. Okay, Evil Connor is excited about Little Mermaid. The motion designer says the studios need to control their budgets more. That's true. If all of these movies had significantly cheaper budgets, then these numbers wouldn't look so bad. But knowing they probably spent about as much to make this movie and market it, you know that they lost a lot of money on this movie, you know? West Coast Avenger says, Elemental is a great story, though. It was written off as dead to make $500 million as well. That's true. I mean, honestly, you kind of have to give Elemental its flowers for how much it made it come back. That's true. Joshua Munn says, according to John Campia's show, the strikes will go on until January, as I've been saying. Have I not been saying the strike is gonna last until January? I've been saying this since day one of the SAG strike. Earliest, like I said, the way it's never going to end. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, okay, so spoiler alert for what we're going to talk about in the strike section, but I was going to mention that the writers in the studios are supposed to meet again on Wednesday. So maybe they'll come to a deal, although I'm not very optimistic about it. And if they don't come to a deal this week, I don't think they're coming to a deal until January. Because at this point, we're already getting close to the end of the year. And I feel like by the end of the year, we're already getting all the holidays. We're getting Christmas. We're getting, Thanksgiving. We're getting, a bunch of stuff where a lot of people are already off anyways. So it's not like they could just immediately ramp production back up, even if the strikes did end, like, very, very soon. So I think if they don't come to an agreement this week, they'll probably just wait until after the holidays. So it's definitely going to be until January. Okay. I'm glad a lot of you are happy to see Elemental and The Little Mermaid in the top 10. They might actually stay. Maybe not Elemental. Because we still have... I don't know, what movies do you guys think can still make the top 10 here? I mean, this is the barrier, 476. Any movie coming out later this year you guys think can make more than that? The Marvels? Possibly? Hopefully, at least. I mean, it's got to make at least what Quantumania made. If it can't make what Quantumania made, that's embarrassing. I don't know. I don't even think Five Nights at Freddy's is going to do that well, but maybe it will. Maybe it'll be a huge surprise. So, I don't know. This might end up being the top 10 now that they moved Dune. Or maybe, I don't know, Killers of the Flower Moon will surprise? It's not looking promising. I can't see Wonka making $476 million, Modern Designer. Yeah. Oh, Eras Tour? I don't know. That's a really high number, especially because you guys have to remember, yeah, she's doing really good with pre-sales and, like, she's selling out a lot of, like, theaters and stuff, but it's still a very limited release, and she's only releasing it in North America, in select, like, days. So it's not even, like, playing during the weekdays. It's just playing on the weekends in 1 month. So I don't know. It's going to do very well. The Eras Tour movie's going to do very well. But I just don't know if it's going to do $476 million well. Oh, Wish. That's right, The Modern Designer. I forgot about that one. Maybe Wish. Okay, so we do have a few possibilities. Aquaman, honestly, y'all, I could see Aquaman not even making the top 10. I think that movie's gonna flop hard. Angel Barrera, thank you so much for the super chat. Ending the strikes will be a Christmas miracle. I think it would literally take a Christmas miracle, you're right, because it's not ending before Christmas, in my opinion. Alright, so moving on from the box office, going to entertainment news. So, I do want to talk about what's going on with The Rock, because ever since Black Adam flopped last year, I've noticed that he's been going on a bit of a redemption tour. He's been doing various things that he's trying to, like, get the public on his side again. And some of the things that he's done, like, he announced that live-action Moana thing that is basically all his idea, all his doing is it's his production company forcing that to happen just so he can play Maui. That he's been doing, like, he did this video which it ended up not working out for him, but I think his mind was in, like, let me do this huge generous gesture, try to help the people in Maui. I bet in his mind he thought it would go over a lot better than it did, but he also did this thing recently with Oprah where he was trying to strike up this charity, like, fundraiser thing for what happened there. So he's, like, doing various things to try to get himself back out there and distract away from Black Adam that I've noticed. I will do that, Modern Designer. And the next thing that he just did, and this was just today, he returned to the WWE. Like, he's going back to his roots. I feel like he would never have done this if Black Adam was the big hit he wanted it to be. Like, even though the strike is happening right now, and obviously he has, like, nothing else to do other than his other businesses he could be running, but it seems like instead he's just decided to, like, get attention in other industries, and one of them is going back to doing, wrestling again. And he's definitely playing into the crowd. I mean, he did his famous people's elbow, which is apparently a signature move of his, just to get the crowd going. This is the move. And you could tell it's so fake. You know this stuff is fake, but like, he did it because he knew that the crowd would go wild for it. Like, he's definitely trying to get people back on his side here. And I don't know if he knew this because the video kind of played it like it was a surprise, but he did also have a reunion with John Cena. And they even hugged. They hugged. They had a hug. So I've never seen The Rock. How do I put this? I feel like he's definitely eating some humble pie right now. Because just a few years ago, he would not be doing this. He would not even want to be seen or associated with John Cena. He would think he's too good for that. And now look at what he's doing. Yeah. I feel like this is all, like I said, I'm calling it his redemption tour from what happened with Black Adam. So, what do you guys think about all this? Do you think it's working? Oh, the modern designer says he looks like a giant thumb. Y'all, you're not wrong, but keep it simple, okay? Okay, the Free Rocket Man says Batista, Cena, then The Rock. It seems like a lot of people agree Batista is the best actor out of the wrestler turned actor crew. Jessica H says, oh, this is desperate. Okay, you guys think this is giving off desperate? Interesting. Evil Connor says, I mean, if they kissed, it'd be more interesting. You're right. If they kissed, it would definitely made more news. Lil Boozy Bert says, I like old school wrestling. Still corny, but at least the outfits were bomb. I guess wrestling is still relevant. People still watch it. Joshua Munn says John Cena, The Rock, and Batista all want to return to WWE in WrestleMania 40. Let's go. Thank God for the strikes. Are they all doing this literally because they have nothing better to do? They're all just like, well, I can't act. I guess I gotta go back to wrestling. I guess this has always been their fallback job. That's kind of funny. Oh, the modern designer wants them to kiss. Okay, Burning Daylighter says this is very desperate. Okay. Kitty Cat says, I came to this channel for the reviews and stayed for the friends made along the way. Aw, thank you, Kitty Cat. Dwayne Johnson net worth $800 million. Yeah, he's going to be a billionaire soon enough. When I'm talking about bouncing back, I'm not talking about bouncing back financially. I mean, like, PR-wise. Like, The Rock definitely cares about his image, like, a lot. Like, he wants a good, positive image. So the fact that he was getting clowned on so hard when Black Adam flopped, I think it really did a number on him. It rocked him, I think. And I didn't even try to do that. It rocked him, you get it? That was unintentional, but I'm owning it. Anyway, he's been doing so much stuff since then just to, like, try to bounce back from that. And I think it is kind of giving a little desperate, I'm not gonna lie. I saw a little bit of Peacemaker. Star Film Studio says maybe, but because we know what we know and it wouldn't work. What are you talking about? Oh, Travis says, I like The Rock still. Am I the only one? Well, I don't think you are. I'm glad you guys like my jokes. Going to the member question, because I did ask my members about this. I asked you guys, like, because of all the stuff The Rock's been doing, going back to WWE, do you think this is helping him redeem his image? Do you like The Rock still? How do you feel? Refreshing now. I got a lot of good questions, a lot of good comments. I'm Kai says, I think this will put him back in good graces. I know a lot close to me didn't hate Black Adam as much as others, so he probably doesn't need redemption in their eyes. My quarrel with him is with the live-action Moana, yeah. This WWE comeback should be cool, though. I'll tune in. So I'm happy that you're excited about his WWE comeback. I'm kind of interested to see it myself, just because I've never been, like, a fan of The Rock when he was doing wrestling, so this would be new for me. But you're totally right. A lot of people, well, okay, maybe that's a bit of a stretch. I don't know about a lot of people, but some people really like Black Adam. And I guess to them, the Rock has just been wrong the whole time. Angel Barrera, thank you so much for the super chat. Maybe Drew Barrymore should also go back to wrestling. Damn. Okay, we're gonna talk about the Drew Barrymore situation soon, but that's pretty cool. Little Joe's Animation says, I think this could definitely help him. Certainly couldn't hurt him. People love that going back to my roots angle for a celebrity. That's true. Plus, his generally good attitude and donations to help the strikes combined with this seems to be elevating his image. Throw in the Moana remake and boom. You know what? Do you guys actually think this Moana remake will do well? I feel like people are starting to get tired of these remakes, but Moana is such a recent movie and it's still so popular on Disney Plus that I feel like people might make an exception for this film if it's good. If they do this movie and they make it look crap, like if the water effects look terrible, okay, I guess this should be the litmus test for the Moana remake. Are the visual effects for the ocean going to look better or worse than the visual effects for the ocean in the original animated movie? Like, that's kind of what I want to know. Is the ocean going to look better or worse than what the original animated film looked like? Because I feel like there's a very real possibility it could look worse, and if it does, just throw the whole movie away. What do you guys think about the Moana movie? Yeah, I agree. It doesn't need a remake. It needs a sequel, maybe, but not a remake. Sexy Rhino says, I didn't really care about John Cena. The Rock is okay, but he has no range. You kind of know what to expect from him in all the movies. Yeah, I mean, he's known for his thing. I don't think it's wrong to have a thing, but he definitely, I think it's tired because he's in too many things. I feel like he just, I don't know, he needs to just go away. I feel like he just always has to insert himself into everything, and I feel like we're getting a little tired. The Couch Potato Watches TV says, I would love to see The Rock and John Cena wrestle each other. Didn't they do that already? I think they did a while ago, right? Forgive me if I'm wrong, I know nothing about wrestling. That would be so awesome. I don't even know the last time they participated in wrestling, so this is pretty exciting for me. I'm so down. I would love for them to do that now. Like, imagine if they did that for charity or something. Now, that would be something I feel like people would be, like, more, like, for. Shelly Lee, thank you so much for being a member, says, I have and always will love the brand that is The Rock. With that said, why does it feel like our dear Mr. Johnson thinks that he is just kin? And that he doesn't feel enough? Oh, Shelly Lee, I love this comment. Oh, does The Rock not think he's enough? You know, maybe all of this is coming from insecurity. You're probably right. Maybe he needed the Barbie movie too. You're probably right, Shelly Lee. That's such like a kind perspective on all of this. Oh, that's great. Hidden Name says, I don't like The Rock. Okay, not everyone likes him. Joe says, I like The Rock, but he does way too much and is overexposed. Yeah. There was at one point a few years ago where I felt like that dude was in a movie every few months. And I was like, how are you finding the time? Okay, Veronica says, I want a Tangled live action. Well, apparently there are rumors that Disney wants to do one as well, but they want to cast Florence Pugh, who I think is horribly miscast for Rapunzel. Going back to this, Me Motelier, thank you so much for being a member, says, I don't like wrestling or The Rock, so I couldn't care less. But I could see how his fans could get excited with an event like that. He's going back to his roots and what made him famous in the first place, but he will need a new hit movie to get in the spotlight again. Maybe it'll be Moana. Except if Moana flops, I think that will definitely sink his career. I don't think it'll flop, but we'll see. I don't know. Will people be so angry that they're even making the movie to not show up? I don't know. I feel like people are going to see the movie. Cheetah Viper, thank you so much for being a member, says, he's an okay actor. I'm not a fan of wrestling and have no interest in the live-action Moana. He must get his following back. We'll have to see what happens in the next few years. Oh, I'm very curious. I feel like The Rock is the kind of guy who just does not give up, like, ever. So we're probably just going to see him always until the end of time, but, like, how relevant will he be? I think that's the question. Amphibian Lover says, my brother will like this news. Oh, well, please tell me. Give us an update. How did your brother take it? Retro Jess says, no redemption after asking us for money next to Oprah. Yeah, that whole thing was, I think, it's not a good look for billionaires and almost billionaires to ask the average person for money. I think they need to start realizing that, because it's just not going to work. Evil Connor says, oh, it's giving midlife crisis. Evil Connor, you always have the best comments, truly. MW says, I heard that John Cena is popular in China, so maybe that could help the overseas box office. Maybe. I mean, is that actually true, though? Or is that just, like, spin from John Cena's publicist or something? Joshua Munn says, it's because of The Rock that Moana is even getting a live-action remake in the first place. Exactly, this is The Rock's whole thing. I know I heart Titty. I still want the Atlantis remake. I feel like the Atlantis remake and the Hercules remake are the only ones I actually want. The Modern Designer says, this feels like a very desperate attempt to increase his likability amongst his core fan base. I think general audiences have a serious case of The Rock fatigue, and they have grown tired of his shtick. In the last 10 years alone, The Rock has been in more than 25 blockbusters. Oh my god! 25 blockbusters in 10 years? At one point, it seemed like he was in every movie. Yeah, it really did. His star has definitely faded over the past few years, along with many other big Hollywood names. I think he will struggle to bring it back. I think he just needs to go away and take a break. This strike would have been the perfect opportunity to do that. But he just decided to, like, go back to wrestling and still keep his name in the press. I feel like that was a mistake. In hindsight, that might be a mistake, but we'll see. The last question here, Nicholas Wilson, thank you so much for being a member, said, WWE remains inexplicably popular. It'll certainly get some publicity with their audience. I don't generally care about WWE, but if there's a chance Chinese Communist Party... Jesus Christ. John Campia will get slapped about a bit, I might watch. Nicholas! Oh my god, if you're in the chat. I love this comment too. I see I have a lot of John Campia haters in my audience. That's really funny. You know what? I used to watch Movie Talk and, you know, those old shows back in the day. I even watched, like, AMC Movie Talk, like, way, like, a long time ago. I tried watching his new channel. No disrespect to him or anything, but, like, honestly, he gets on my nerves sometimes too, so I get why you guys feel that way. John Doe Jane Doe says John Cena will beat up anyone who says that Taiwan is so sovereign nation. I know that whole John Cena apology video was so cringy. Oh my gosh. My god, y'all are really coming for him. Jeez, Burning Daylighter. Tell me what you really think. Mikey says, I feel like Frozen's Utopia, Moana, Inside Out, and Up are just too good for a sequel to happen, maybe even Encanto. I'm kind of sad Zootopia is getting a sequel. I feel like they're all getting sequels or live-action remakes eventually. Even Frozen. Once they get out Frozen 3, give it, like, 5 more years and they'll announce the live-action Frozen 1. We're getting nothing but Frozen for the next, like, 20 years. Trust me. Alright, moving on. Thank you again, everyone, for being a member. If you want to be a member, please press the join button at the bottom of the screen. It really does help the channel. Alright, moving on to strike news. So, the Drew Barrymore situation continues to unravel, and a whole lot happened over the weekend, and a lot happened even after we had our live stream on Friday that I was like so upset that I couldn't talk about. So just to give you a quick rundown of what happened, and then I'll update you on what happened over the weekend. So the Drew Barrymore show was set to return during the strikes. Drew Barrymore said that she completely owned the decision to bring back her show despite the fact that the writers were hella pissed off. She got the okay from SAG, but the WGA was like, no, this is scabbing, and a lot of people were calling her scabs. But she did encourage a lot of other people to basically become scabs, or in their mind, and bring back their shows, including Sherry, The Talk, The Jennifer Hudson Show, and of course Bill Maher, who I think ultimately did this because he just wanted to have his show back. But the fact that Drew Barrymore did this inspired a lot of other shows to do it, and she got a lot of pushback because of it, because they felt like Drew Barrymore was undermining the power of the unions and really undermining the strikes entirely. In fact, there were reports that audiences were having to leave the tapings of the Drew Barrymore show if they were wearing any support for the WGA. They were saying that people were getting kicked out if they had pins. I mean, it was really, really bad. There was a lot of really ugly stuff that was coming out. There was even the report that she got dropped from a hosting gig because they felt like her behavior was just reprehensible. So this really all just coincided in this really kind of sad apology video. This 2023 has been a year for apology videos, let me tell you. I don't think a single one has gone well. I think the worst still has to be the annoying chick with the red lips. You guys know what I'm talking about with the red lips. The ukulele. That still is the worst one. Miranda sings. But this one, I don't even think this one was a bad one. I felt like, as apology videos go, she said she still owned her decision, but that she felt sorry. And I genuinely felt like she was regretting her decisions, because like she came across as genuinely sad in this, as opposed to like the Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher apology video where they both seemed very pissed off. She seemed like at least genuinely apologetic to me. But this video did not make people happy. She still got a lot of people really upset. So I think it was like not even 24 hours later, she took the video down. Literally, I made a whole tweet talking about how I respected that she was at least sticking to her guns and she wasn't gonna she wasn't gonna do what literally everyone else would have done. I was giving her a compliment. And then she literally took down the video, so I was like, well, that aged like milk. And not just taking down the video, she announced like a day or two later that she is not going to bring her show back during the strike after all, and that she's listened to everyone's words, and that she realized she was in the wrong. So now she's not bringing her show back. And all the other shows she inspired to come back are also not coming back anymore, including the Jennifer Hudson Show, The Talk, and even Bill Maher. I honest to God thought Bill Maher was still going to go through with it. He was the last person to announce it. I thought he was still going to scab. But no, he said, never mind. So now we're at this point where they all rescinded their decision. And I think the PR damage for all of them, but especially Drew Barrymore, is so bad. Even when the strike is over, I don't know if, I think it's going to be a while before Drew Barrymore can even recover from it. It's been a doozy, I guess you could say. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the whole thing now that I've given you a quick rundown of what you might have missed? And one of the reasons that Bill Maher at least said that he's okay with not coming back with his show right now is because, as I just mentioned, the writers and the studios are supposed to come back to renegotiate on Wednesday. So maybe this will lead to something. Maybe they might actually come to a deal. But as I've told you, I'm not super confident about it. What do you guys think, though? Okay, Wanda says Drew had no reason to apologize. Okay, there are definitely two camps, as I mentioned. I think that as long as they weren't explicitly breaking the rules, like they weren't doing any writing, They weren't going to promote any struck content, and according to everything that I've seen so far, it looks like all she was going to do is talk about, like, human interest stories, and she was going to talk to a couple of authors. So she wasn't going to talk about anything related to Hollywood at all. So I kind of felt like I understood where she was coming from, that she was just trying to take care of her crew. But boy, did a lot of people disagree with that. And The View is still going forward, exactly when The View kind of does the same thing. They do human interest stories where they just kind of sit and talk. So I don't understand if that's what Drew Barrymore wanted to do. Why did she have to take her show down, but The View can still go? I feel like The View should also have to end their show then, just to be fair. The Modern Designer says the strikes are a result of the studios not paying fairly. I hope the studios support the crews who cannot work during this time. I would love that. I would really love that the studios would never do that, because as they've even said, they want people to starve. Riru says, testing out public perception. If the audience did not voice their concerns, would they have stayed open? Oh, definitely. They only changed their mind because of the public backlash. I don't think they would have done so otherwise. That is the only reason. Angel Barrera, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Is it me, or do apology videos make you look worse? Honestly, if I were a publicist to a major celebrity and they were going through a scandal, I think the last thing I would tell them to do at this point is make an apology video. Because they never end up going well. People always take anything you say against you. They'll critique everything from what you're wearing to your makeup or lack of makeup to, like, where you're sitting, what room you're in. Like, everything will be taken apart and dissected and used against you no matter what you say. So I feel like, I don't know, apology videos at this point just if I were a celebrity, I would say just don't do them. Yeah, the Ashton Mila videos. They literally look so angry. Like, literally Mila in the entire video the whole time just looked like she was so upset she even had to say these words. Like, she didn't look apologetic at all. Only Twitter apologies work, or Instagram, some sort of notes app thing. I feel like that, honestly, is the way to go. Some notes app apology. Don't do the video. Adele Pedro says they told Colleen not to say anything. Look what happened. Yeah. I mean, Colleen really leaned into it. She even uploaded that song to Spotify. Like, she said, I don't care what you think. She definitely does, but she wants us to think she doesn't. Indie Sunflower says, that's why Ariana Grande has been silent. Apologizing makes things worse 99% of the time. Exactly. Could you imagine, given all the accusations between Ariana Grande and SpongeBob, if at that peak time when all those rumors were coming out, could you imagine if Ariana Grande went on TikTok or YouTube or something and made some apology video talking about the accusations? Not only would it have made the situation worse, but people would have remembered the whole thing more than I think they already do. Joe says, public apologies are very weird. Celebrities actually don't owe the public an explanation. They are not publicly traded entities. Well, the reason that celebrities want to do the public apologies is because their reputation is everything, and they don't want, like, their public image or reputation to be ruined. So that's why they do it. It's not about, like, they think the public owns them. I think it's, like, even though, I think for some of them do. Like, I think Taylor Swift's fans definitely own her. But, like, I think it's more just, like, they're trying to set their record straight about what their reputation is, because they want to make sure that they can control that. The Modern Designer thank you so much, says, remember Ellen talking about the pandemic, feeling like she's in prison while sitting in her LA mansion? Yeah, I think the celebrities annoyed a lot of people. I think during the pandemic especially, they really showed their hand about how out of touch they are. And I think that kind of was the catalyst for a lot of the sort of negative backlash so many celebrities are getting now. Like, I feel like in general, celebrities are viewed more negatively than they used to be. Maybe that's just me. Do you guys think that? Indie Sunflower says, celebs trying to make people feel better during the pandemic was truly wild and cringe. It was very cringe, especially since they have no idea how to do that. Grace Likes to Draw says, my reputation never been worse. Oh my god, not the Taylor Swift lyrics again. The Blue Gecko Nerd says, I've heard that you have to pay to listen to the toxic gossip train. Is that true? What do you mean you have to pay to listen? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Alright. Now, I do have some WTF news. Any other comments about the strike stuff? I feel like I haven't done a poll yet. Should I do a poll? Okay, yeah, let's do a poll. Let's do you think Drew was right coming back on air? So, do you agree with the reverse decision? Okay, so the options are gonna be, yes, she was right to not bring her show back, or no, she should have kept going, she should have brought her show back, or, no, I know I normally give a third option for a maybe, but I really want to see, like, yes or no, do you think they should have brought their shows back? The Blue Gecko Nerd says, do you have to pay to listen to the toxic gossip train? Because Colleen is paying for those to listen to her song. Oh, that's the name of the song. I forgot. Well, no, you don't have to pay. Well, you can pay for Spotify, so I guess. But you also can get Spotify for free, so you don't have to pay for the song directly. Wait, Tana says Tron 3 was moving forward and the strikes happened. This is a sign not to make Tron 3. Honestly, they should not make Tron 3. I don't understand why they're making a Tron 3. I feel like the only reason they're making a new Tron movie is to tie it into the new Tron ride that's in Magic Kingdom. Because the first two Tron movies flopped. And I didn't even like the second one, like the one with Olivia Wilde. Oh, that was... I liked it visually, and the music was good, but... the story, the pacing, the directing, all of that was terrible. They should not make a Tron 3. Alright, going to the poll. So, 52% actually agree that they should have reversed their decision. 48% say no. That's almost 50-50. That's a pretty even split, actually. That's fascinating. That really just shows you either my audience is skewed, or that just really shows you how much of a bubble Twitter is. That so many people, if you just judged by Twitter, you would think that everyone would be like for this decision, but honestly I think people are in reality are more mixed, so I think this poll is probably pretty accurate. The poll was reworded weirdly. No, I explained it. Do you agree with them deciding to bring their shows back? Nana says, I don't know, maybe if she let people from the strike talk about the struggles on the show. That totally could have been something. Like, imagine if, say, Drew Barrymore had a bunch of strikers come on the show and talk about their struggles and what they're going through and why they're striking. That could have actually been beneficial to them. That could have been beneficial to their cause. I don't know, I feel like there was a way. Alright, ending the poll. You guys are pretty 50-50 about this. That's very interesting. West Coast Avenger says, it isn't just actors and writers that are in this. Crews, food service, construction, all rely on Hollywood. Very true. They have lesser or no income for half a year or more. Exactly. That's why we all knew the strikes would be tough, but it is really hard. And I think this is going on longer than a lot of people expected. There were people who genuinely believed the strike was only going to last like a couple months. And the fact that this might go on until January is like surprising to a lot of people, but I don't know. I just hope it actually does end in January. Like I said, I think we'll finally get our first real, like, actual productive negotiations happening in January. But will they come to a deal? I don't know. I think by February, maybe, but we'll see. the modern designer says people need to suffer for the studios to back down. I feel like, as I've been saying, Hollywood needs a reset. I think the old Hollywood studio system that was currently in place, needs to be reset and done over. I think we need more emphasis on like independent studios and like original creators, to be honest. Alright, now I do have some WTF news I'm going to get to, and of course, it's the bear. I know you guys have heard about this, right? But there was a bear near Walt Disney World, particularly Magic Kingdom, and it caused several of the rides around the park to have to go shut down because they, of course, just for safety, they have to make sure that there was no bear in the area. But I think this is pretty crazy. Definitely falls up under WTF news. Thankfully, it never got on stage. It was just backstage. But look at this. You can see right here on the right. You can see that there are some cast buildings on the side. And this bear was very, very close to the cast buildings. And this on the left, I don't know if you guys can see where I'm pointing, but you can see there's Big Thunder Mountain on the left, bottom left here. I mean, look at how close it was to getting on stage and being near people. That is kind of crazy. Could you imagine going to Magic Kingdom and just seeing a bear trying to ride Thunder Mountain? That would have been insane. Yeah, new horror film, says Evil Connor. He was looking for some honey. Maybe he was trying to go to the Woody the Pooh ride. West Coast Avengers says Country Bear was a real jamboree today. Ah, I see what you did there. Arvin says the live-action version of Brother Bear. Yeah. You guys, your puns and your dad jokes are so funny to me. iHeartIdia says maybe he just wanted to get Der Mountain. What? Get Der Mountain. Am I missing this one? What are these comments? Y'all are so funny. The Blue Gecko Nerd says, something tells me if the Wicked Witch of the West came, she wouldn't have helped her sing a little song. What? Selling a soul to Doja Cat? What are you talking about, Blue Gecko Nerd? We're talking about the bear. What are y'all talking about in this chat? This chat is going wild right now. Anyway, here is the Thunder Mountain story with the bear and everything. I just had to share it with you because I know you guys love your WTF news, and this is pretty WTF. I'm not gonna lie, if I was working there and I happened to come across a bear at my job, I would probably scream. It would not be good. Anyway, we got like 10 minutes left, so we actually finished this stream a little early today. So for the next 10 minutes, I'll let you guys just ask me anything. And that'll be the end of the stream for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you everyone for joining today. This was really fun. You guys can ask me anything entertainment related about the things that we either talked about in this stream or just in general. West Coast Avengers says those bears are trying to steal the thunder from all the animals discussed in the chat last week. I don't know. What was this bear doing here? I mean, apparently this is the second time they've had something crazy like this happen, so I don't know. Anyway. Any other questions? You guys are talking about Doja Cat a lot. I guess I'll comment on the Doja Cat stuff. I actually really like Doja Cat's music. I think her new era... To be honest with you, I've only liked Demons, that one song that she released. I haven't liked the other two, even Paint the Town Red. I think it's just okay. I think she's a really good artist, but her personality, though. Her personality is insufferable. Oh my gosh. The things she says online are just so try-hard and cringy. I don't know. I try to separate the art from the artist, and with Doja Cat, I definitely have to do that. I do like Britney Spears. Unknown Mystery says, what do you think about Elemental getting 26 million views on Disney Plus? Is that new news? I didn't see that. Well, that's really good. I mean, that movie's probably going to do, like, really, really well on Disney Plus, like, going forward, so good for that film. What would you define your music taste as? I would say eclectic. I listen to all sorts of things. Mine is country. A lot of what I've been listening to lately is, like... I don't know if you guys know this duo called Mandalay Bay. Magdalena Bay. I don't know how to pronounce it actually, but I like them. They're pretty good. West Coast Avengers says, do people still hate Lizzo? Hope that's over. Lizzo rules. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the stuff those dancers were saying about Lizzo was like, yeah, they were uncomfortable being taken to like a strip club by their boss. I understand that. But why are you saying you have a problem with it now, but then you went back to the strip club later? I just seem kind of hypocritical and like the whole like the whole sue, like what they're suing over just seems very personal and petty. I don't think it's worth losing her career over. No offense to country fans. I've just never been, into it. I agree with the Blue Gecko nerd. I like Doja's music, but her attitude. Oh. Mikey says, hey, Brittany, I'm going to be streaming soon. Okay, cool. Is there anything you would like to, anything you like to use your camera? Any tips? Oh, man, tips. I feel like I'm still learning things myself. You're always going to be learning, I feel. Even though I've been doing this for a while now, I still feel like I'm learning every day something new. I would say, for mics, I have a Yeti mic. I don't know if you want to go with this one. I'm using a Logitech webcam. Honestly, I would just go with the webcam. Like, get like a really nice webcam to start, especially if you're just new to streaming. Make sure your computer can handle streaming, because not every computer can handle it. So I would also look at the specs you need for that. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, a lot of people are saying not a fan of country. Good to know I'm not alone. Not gonna lie, Lizzo's music is good too, but I'm mixed on her though. I feel like and I'm including myself here. We gotta start separating the art from the artist more. It's hard to do, I get, especially because I feel like music is such a personal thing that you listen to the person, you feel like you want to relate to them, but at the same time, it's like we don't know these people, and I think we gotta stop idealizing them. Andy Summer says, "What's your favorite animated movie besides Disney?" Well, my favorite animated movie of all time, besides WALL-E, is actually Coraline, so I would go with that one. The foreign films I've watched are mostly like anime, to be honest. I need to watch more foreign films, I will admit. Laura B says, if you could travel abroad, which country would you visit? It is my bucket list to go to Japan. I really want to go to Japan. I've always wanted to visit Machu Picchu. Still haven't gone to Peru. So, I'd say those two right now, Japan and Peru. Very different, but I really want to go. Hidden Name says, not a fan either, but I realized recently that it's like rap. It's mostly rhymes, but with acoustic. Interesting. Maybe that's why I'm not into it. I'm not really into, a lot of acoustic folksy music. I like some folksy music, but that is just not a genre that I gravitate towards. I very much if I'm not listening to soundtrack stuff or score music or something, I'm very much listening to usually pop or even dance pop, something like that. Indie Sunflower says, yeah, I was obsessed with Ariana Grande, but now with the new scandal, I just don't know. It's true. Don't idolize celebs. I think all celebs, especially musicians, they're all hiding something. I don't think there's a single innocent one among them. Grace Likes to Draw says, oh my god, I was rewatching Coraline earlier. It's so good. I know, they recently brought it back to theaters, but it was such a limited release. I was kind of hoping that they would, I could go see it. I was a little bummed. What's my favorite Disneyland ride? Well, if we're talking about the one in California, then it's Pirates of the Caribbean. I love that ride a lot. Okay, Little Joe's Animation. You should watch Coraline. It's really good. It's creepy, so be prepared, but it's very good. Yeah, I love me a good movie soundtrack. Okay. West Coast Avenger says, "Who is your favorite Spider-Man and why is it Tom Holland?" Actually, no, it's not. It's still Tobey Maguire. Tobey is the one that I watched when I was a little kid. Tobey is the one I grew up with. I remember even I wanted web shooters for my birthday once just because I was so into Spider-Man. So, for that reason, I'll probably always have a soft spot for Tobey Spider-Man. I have not listened to the new Madison Beer album yet. I'll check it out soon, though. I gotta be honest, I feel like I'm one of the few people that didn't like Olivia Rodrigo's album that much, the new one. Like a couple songs, but overall, I thought the first one was better. Alright, I'll take like 3 questions, and then that'll be the end of the stream for today. Okay, the Modern Designer says, I enjoy watching older movies in 4K. They look so much better. I need to go back and watch some more older movies, but I feel like Hollywood... I mean, this is a very cold take, but Hollywood definitely does not make movies how they used to. Because one of the old films that I watched that I still think about even now, even though I watched this movie a while ago, is Lawrence of Arabia. That movie is so good. I mean, there's a reason it's a classic. That movie is incredible. And I can't think of a single movie in, like, the past 10 years, I would say, even comes close to that. Yeah. It's kind of sad what's happened to, like, the art of cinema. Oh, Jordan Davis, you are so late. I'm taking, like, maybe 2 more questions and that's it. Sorry, Jordan. Okay, Jay liked Guts. Okay. Oh, Dylan doesn't like Olivia Rodrigo. Interesting. Andy Sunflower says, Olivia's new album sucks. I loved the first one. OMG, I loved Ballad of a Homeschool Girl. Yeah, I feel like Ballad of a Homeschool Girl is probably my favorite off of the new one. But yeah, I thought the first one was a lot better. Alright, I'll take 1 more question and that's it. Alright. Okay. Danny says Jumanji looks better than half the other movies. I love those Jumanji movies. Are you talking about the first Jumanji movie? Or are you comparing the Jumanji movies? I like all of them, actually. Even the one with Robin Williams. I like the old one and the new ones. I think they're all good. Alright. I think it's time for me to end the stream now. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This was really fun. And I'll see you then.